Hey there, Variety here. Welcome to today's video in which we're going to be doing a bard guide for Taurus Land. If you've been following along, this is the last class guide of the initial class guide series. It has been a journey to say the least. So I've been getting some comments stating that sometimes my explanations are a bit hard to understand in combat, which I can understand. So I'm going to do this video a little bit differently as I'm looking to get feedback. So usually we go into two boss fights and we have a look at the DPS rotation using the tutorial to teach you how to use the class. So in today's video, I'm going to use the DPS section on a dummy and I'm going to give a longer explanation so you'll have a better understanding. And then I'm going to go and do the healer spec on a boss fight. Hopefully, I'm hoping for feedback as to what style you prefer, so I can adapt future videos to what people find more helpful. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go jump into the DPS spec. Welcome to the Bard DPS spec. So the Bard works on your weapon, and every time you use an ability, it's going to give you a chord. Chord. I can't pronounce it to save my life. I'm just going to admit it now, okay? So we'll just call it stacks. Okay, so what you do is if you use your first ability, as you can see it's red, it's going to give you a red stack. When you use 2 times, you now have 2 stacks. Now you might notice that it's completely full. Now that it's full, I can use your third ability. And what it's going to do is it's going to use both your nodes and give you an effect. When you have 2 reds, it's going to give you a damage buff for a while. So we go 2 reds again, and then we hit the third key. Does your damage, gives you the damage boost, right? So you always want to keep this running. So what if we use other nodes? So for example, let's use Powerful Melody. As you can see there, it's a cast timer. You can jump, you can do whatever. Now you have 2 blues. Now I hit R, and it does a different effect. I won't go through all of the effects because quite frankly, it's a little bit complicated. You'll be able to pick them up in the spreadsheet and, through the talent descriptions to find out, exactly how they connect to each other. So you might notice here that you have 1 blue note left. I'll do it again, just in case you missed it. So when you use 2 blue notes, it keeps 1 of them, right? So it's pretty easy to get back into 2 notes to do it again. However, you might notice here that I've dropped the DPS, which is bad. So let's get that back up. So this time we're actually going to do a red and blue. It doesn't matter which order you do them in. So let's do both, and it's going to do a different attack again. So the important thing here is that down your talent tree, depending on how you run your talents, of course, the talents that I run, it gives you more damage if you do different effects each time around. So this time I'm going to do red and blue. So because I just did red and blue, I'm going to do red and red. Then I'm going to do blue and blue. So as long as you keep changing between them, you actually get a damage boost from your talent. Some people I have heard have basically just clicked 1, 1, 1, 3, and just basically did that to infinity. I personally haven't seen that do a lot of DPS, and I really hope that's not what the meta turns into, because that's pretty lame. Okay, so now you understand. Let's have a look at the text. So as you can see here, red times 2 equals Zealous Chord, damage boost. Red and blue equals Mixed Chord, and blue times 2 equals Dynamic Chord. Okay, so this ability here, this is Passionate Play. What this is going to do is it's going to deal damage and increase your attack. But there's actually another effect that you want to keep in mind. So as you noticed before, when we used this, I'll do it again so you can remember. Stacks are gone, right? Because I used it. However, if you get them up and then use Passionate Play, now I can spam the button and it doesn't use this up for a couple of seconds. So that's how you get a lot of burst out, and you can use whichever one you want a few times in a row. So over here, we have Sonic Boom. It's basically your AoE, but as you can see, it's much bigger than AoEs from most of the other classes. Next up, we have Wild Magic. So it plays Wild Magic for the next 15 seconds to boost your combo rate. Combo rate is what your class uses. In addition, attack plus 55 and your speed up effect 5%. So let's use that. We're going to go for 2 reds. And this time, we're going to go for 2 blues. I accidentally fat fingered that, I will be honest. I was trying to hit the R key and I hit the T key. So yeah, that is basically how it works. So damage boost, damage, both is damage, but boosted when you do different ones. This is how you use your stacks. This is your AoE. Sorry, this is your Passionate Play. This is your AoE, and this is your damage buff. So the DPS on the Bard is definitely a bit more complicated than some of the other classes, but hopefully that explanation, minus the mess-ups, gives you a proper understanding of kind of what to expect from the Bard. You can change it. So, for example, if you go down the left Bard tree, you can actually turn one of your notes into purple, which again will change how things work. But this is the way that I play the class, and it's the basic way of doing it. Okay, so hopefully this explanation is better than what I was giving in combat. So now we're going to go and jump to the healer section against a boss. So here we are at the boss for healing. So over here we have your weapon, and basically it has stacks. So keep in mind, this is your stack about when I talk about stacks. So the first thing you're going to want to know is your 2 ability, your Warm Current. It's a dot that heals. And it's basically how you're going to get your stacks, right? So you keep using your 2 a lot. Dot healing, dot healing, dot healing. Now when you're done dot healing, every time you do this, it's going to proc your Q, or your 1 key. Because your 1 key is proc, it heals everybody a bit of HP. So whenever you're healing, you want to use your 2 key, and then you want to use your 1 key, okay, in that order. So I've been using my dot heal for a while, so now I have full stacks. Because I'm at full stacks now, I can use my 3rd ability. What this does is it recovers HP and gives more damage reduction depending on how many stacks I have. I have max stacks, so it's going to give me a lot of damage reduction. I'm going to use that on the tank right now. Now, while he's got damage reduction, I'm going to put a regen on him. So here we have Healing Sound. So Healing Sound actually heals AoE. However, what it also does is it doubles heal. It gives an extra heal to somebody who has Warm Current on them. You get the extra heal. So now we have Hope Melody. It stacks up like the Priest, right? So you want to wait for Hope Melody. So you use your regen, get your stacks up again. Wait. It's proc, heal. So let's put another dot on him, and then we'll use the AoE to see it proc. There you go. So here, this is basically a big power boost. And your healing abilities are based upon your damage, and it also recovers the target's HP. So let's use it on the tank right now. So that big heal, and now I'm buffed. So let's use a regen on him. We use the shield on him. AoE to get an AoE heal. And then we have this, it's procced and it's waiting and ready to go. So it's procced plus it's got an extra charge. So this here is a gigantic damage reduction. So as you can see, the shield here, it is gigantic. It is, what do we got? 20%. And recovers them 57% of your attack plus 122 per second. So basically, it's a gigantic damage reduction and it's a heal. So if you use that ability and then used your AoE heal on top of each other, you do a lot of healing. Is it going to match the Priest AoE healing? Maybe not. Maybe not. However, if you stack the Bard AoE damage reduction, so 20% flat damage reduction, with the Priest AoE healing, with a bit of AoE healing from the Bard, it would be amazing against like raid-wide mechanics. So now that I've played all three healers, I'm not going to go super deep into healing comparisons, but I just want to touch on that I enjoy the Bard a lot, actually. You got to be careful not to use a regen before the tank goes into combat. That's probably the most annoying thing as a tank. You don't want your healer pulling aggro before, with a dot. But as a tank, I think that I would prefer a Priest AoE healer in conjunction with a Bard damage reduction, and dot healing. You can move your talents around a bit to like make your dot healing more powerful depending on, what fight you're into. Overall, I think that the Bard is actually pretty powerful. And it's actually something I'm considering playing on global aside my tank. Like, that's how enjoyable it is. But that covers everything for the Bard guide. I hope the DPS guide made a lot more sense since I had more time to give a proper explanation. And I am waiting for feedback in the comment section as to what type of style you prefer, because that is the style I will go ahead and use in future videos. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.